Hello, YouTube.com. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and Sketchcraft has been brought back to life.
I came back.
You came back. You're back. You're in the Bundy's house. They don't even know you're there.
Oh
That's
no,
good.
no, 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 no. They won't leave. The Bobas.
Well,
No one
well,
told them the show's over. You gotta go home now. They won't leave. What can I
and
do?
and
The
out
fucking
of
squatters.
the neither world, you brought us into the future. We're in like 1080p now, so hopefully the show
Oh
looks better.
damn! Get to
Hopefully.
see all the grays, all the
Hmm.
blackheads. I try to clear this up, but
Yeah.
hereditary. What can you do?
Just
Wash
pop,
3 times a
just
day.
pop it into the camera,
No,
dude.
don't. No, what are you doing? Don't.
Yeah, people
Don't do
love those
that.
pimple popper videos, dude. We could
Oh,
really
good. You're gonna make
step
me
this
vomit. Don't. I can't take
up.
that.
Yeah.
Cannot. Seriously, that's
No,
the
no,
phobia.
no. I don't watch that shit. That stuff's scary to me. It really truly scares me. Yeah. And so today I was watching Star Wars Santa show, and he was talking about getting the predictions out. I'm not sure if he's got the form out yet, but I had the idea. I'm like, let's talk about the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer because this happened. So whenever this person does a tweet, it's usually about a trailer, and they're, I guess, a Disney person who tweets out stuff when they finish their trailers. Almost a little bit of like a wink, wink, it's coming. As luck would have it, yesterday, Rob and I were with a person. We'll call them a person, and they told us that the trailer was rated. They're like, it's rated now, so it's any day now. It's very soon. And so we knew it was rated. Then that happened, and I'm like, okay, I think we are in trailer season now. It's got to be. It's and so people were asking, is it Bad Batch? Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi? And
It's
based
droid
off of,
story.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
droid story.
it could be a crazy coincidence, right? It could be a crazy coincidence that we heard it was rated yesterday, and then that tweet went out, right? It could be, but yeah, but hopefully we will have some information about what's in it very, very soon as well. But depending on how soon until it comes out. So, okay.
Sand.
Yeah. Well, we were talking, generally speaking, it takes about 2 months. It's usually the trailers are about 2 months before. They're usually from the first episode and a half or so. Sometimes they'll pull a money shot from later on if it's just like an establishing shot or something like that. But for the most part, we get our money shots, and we get the early parts of the story and in the trailer. So I'm thinking Tatooine based trailer, um, mostly Kenobi, and our
I hope not.
I'm gonna
I
say in
hope
the
not.
first, yeah.
I want that slow Gungans coming through the swamp,
Hmm.
and then I mean they haven't done that. I mean they're
Yeah.
saving it for a movie, but how many fucking more years? They just announced that Star Trek film is getting made. By the way, without telling the cast, which I haven't seen since Aliens 2,
Hmm.
and the they slotted it for that December 22nd, 2023 spot where Rogue Squadron was going to be. So they ain't no Star Wars movie coming in December 2023, folks.
I don't think
Because
so.
Paramount was like, we don't. They admitted it was an investor call. They don't have a script. They
Hmm.
don't have a cast. But
Wait,
we're taking the Star Wars slot
for Trek
for
for Star.
Star Trek 4. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So now if those actors, what's weird about Star Trek 4 is they were going to make it with Pine and Hemsworth coming back, right? But
Okay.
Pine wouldn't go down in pay because they were like, we got to make these movies for less money because they make 400, 500 mil, but we're spending 250. We got to bring it down to like 100, 150. And Pine was like, yeah, I'm not taking a pay cut. So they didn't make it. But now they announced the new movie before any of these actors were told. And so if they just collectively bargain like the fucking Friends cast, right? Like, I
Or
mean, that budget goes to 500 million.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you always want the talent to be paid appropriately and stuff like that. But I do have to say the world is a lot different right now. and what movies make, and how much they should cost, I think. So I'm kind of curious if how that's
You
going
see a
to
Star Wars
unfold.
Santa said.
What that he loves Karl Marx?
Pine wouldn't go down, Rob 2022. Look, let's be honest. He's worked with some people that, I'm certain we'd all go down on Sean Pegg or Simon Pegg, right? Right. Carl
Simon
Urban,
Pegg?
without a doubt.
I don't know.
Without,
Simon, I mean, he's
without,
pretty funny, I guess, if
he's
that
got
personality.
but he's incredibly. People don't know that about him. Like he trips over that fucking thing. But what I'm saying though is that guarantees ain't no Star Wars movie coming in that slot anytime soon.
Right.
It's done. It's over. And if Avatar 2 comes out the next year, then unless they're shipping a Star Wars movie in May, we ain't seeing shit in the theaters till 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm okay with that. It would be nice. It would be nice to have a theatrical Star Wars movie again, and especially when we get into post pandemic, it would be great to be able to go to the theater and hang out, watch a great Star Wars film. But the TV shows are doing pretty good, and they're, for the most part, they are satiating that desire that I have to like see Star Wars on screen in live action. So it's like, like with Kenobi here, if this had been the Kenobi film, or if it had been this TV series, I feel like the TV series is probably going to do everything that if the film would have done. I mean, I don't know. I can't. You can never quantify that and say, but it does seem like it's doing everything I wanted it to do and everything I thought it should do, and doing it smart. So I don't really have any huge problems like with the fact that I'm not getting a Kenobi movie in 2022, that I'm getting a Kenobi series instead.
Well, you're going to be seeing Force Ghost Rob till 2025.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just,
right.
So I'm going to hold on. I'm only going to be actual corporeal Rob. I can't even say the word because I'm a fucking idiot.
Nobody can now. You've infected my mush mouth with your virus of a word. But what is it?
I'm so jealous that Chris can enunciate because he grew up in a country where they fucking learn to speak properly. Mm-hmm.
But they also have kangaroo courts.
Because
it's Australia.
You just love kangaroo. I know.
It's Australia. Get it?
I know, Coach. I know, Coach. I get it, Coach. So like, but I'm holding out for theatrical releases only. So. Mm-hmm. You're I think Force Ghost Rob satiates the Star Wars fans enough.
Force Ghost Rob.
My wife's like, you don't even satiate me, fucking loser.
Joel's all corporal Rob. More like corporate Rob. Sell out. Okay, Star Wars Santa says, just saw the updated movie release schedule for Disney. December 19th, 2025 equals Untitled Star Wars. Wait, so is that the only... Is that the first Star Wars movie that we get now? 2025?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So when do we get the trailer for that? Chris will know, right? So is that 6 months before?
What
do we get that? Do we get
Chris was saying Chris was betting on what, March 10th?
March 10th for Obi-Wan, but I'm saying for the 2025 movie.
Oh,
like he has to already know when we're getting the trailer, right? Like
he has to work.
We're getting
out.
that May 25th, or we're getting that on May the 4th.
Yeah,
Disney Plus Day in September, right?
they're gonna break it into part 1 and part 2 on May 4th. You get part 1 on May 25th. You get part 2 of the trailer.
Wouldn't it be great if they did break the trailers? Like they cut out trailer at about a minute 30 in and went sequel coming to be continued,
to be concluded.
To be concluded. You got me on that one. I would have lost the schmodown. Damn it.
But the background music playing at the end.
I have to table flip and kayfabe.
Are we even going to be alive by this point? I mean, it's like World War III is already going to be, it's like, what are they doing?
I had this theory before COVID, because COVID threw this theory out the window. But before COVID, I had this theory that like the next time a major war would happen, Amazon or Apple and all them would just get all their drones out and stop it from happening because it's not good for commerce. You know what I mean? Like, they would
That sounds
unleash
right.
the drones to stop all this shit. You know, and like because this is not good for the economy. And I mean, obviously, COVID proved that no, we'll just let people die. We'll work right. We'll release Batman movies. Doesn't matter how many people die. You know,
Yeah,
like
we
Batman's
don't
still
care.
getting released in Kiev. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Modern capitalism knows no bounds. Wyatt.
So Joel's all release date subject to change pending on World War III. And so
God, Joel's so
Santa
good.
Santa just sent me this thing, this release schedule paper thing. So thank you, Santa, for sending that to us for the old show. And yeah, so what do we got here? It doesn't really have to make it. All right. So 2022, uh we got nothing Star Wars. There's nothing at all. Okay, so no Star Wars. Got some Avatar 2. That makes Rob happy. Wait, do you still like Avatar now that you're not blue?
Fucking love it.
He still loves it. He loves it. Okay.
I love it.
And then, so
Have you
2023.
seen Horizon Zero Dawn on PS5? It's Avatar.
Okay, well,
It's fucking-
2023
Come on.
still has Rogue Squadron listed. 12,
You know what?
22,
Oh,
23.
there's no way. No, that movie ain't coming out in December.
Yeah.
Nah.
6, 30, 23. On time
I'll
of the
bet
interview.
your pinky toe. That's how much I believe. It
Yeah.
ain't coming out in December.
I mean, it's isn't it? I mean, it's possible.
That is the exact date Paramount put Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
You know, there's no fucking way. So
But that would require two things from Star Trek. Either they're like, let's just go head to head and
and a
be
cast.
stupid. Yeah, they don't have a script in a cast either. Let me ask you this: are they going to make that release date? Because
Star Trek has a much lower bar to you know what I mean, to get. They just put, like, honestly, all I got to do is put some people in a ship, add lens flares, Giacchino, go, done. Like,
yeah,
it's not a lot.
I heard Giacchino's directing something now. He's going to be directing a
shit.
film. Yeah,
I'm interested in that.
yeah. He's
Congratulations to Giacchino for directing, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder if he's going to
Does he do the own? That's what I'm saying. Does he do the music for his own?
Yeah.
You know, why haven't they let Giacchino direct an episode of Boba Fett or Mando yet?
Maybe
Seriously.
nobody knew he was interested in it. Maybe after he does this directing whatever he's doing, I can't remember what it is, but maybe after he does it, then they'll be like, hey, let's give him a shot. Or
I heard Andor has a lot of episodes to cover, so
yeah,
he'd be the guy, right?
yeah,
Right? He'd be the guy.
Andor season 2, but yeah, if we Nolan says if we die from nuclear war before Obi-Wan comes out, that God is real and he's an epic troll. Yeah, right.
He is an epic troll. Tell that he's like, you should see the dinosaurs felt.
Justin feels that or asks, is Patty Jenkins' movie dead in the water then? And I mean, like I gotta say, I gotta throw it back on Star Trek though here. I'm wondering if either of them make this release date. I wonder if both of them are like, wouldn't it be funny if we both did it? Because neither of us are going to make it. So we'll just throw it out there and then we'll both change and neither of us loses.
What if they both don't make it?
Yeah.
But somehow Joss Whedon gets a fucking Firefly movie in the theaters. And then everyone's like, we'll let go of the misogyny because we wanted more Firefly. Like,
Well, there are two ladies on that show and they sometimes talk to each other.
they pass the Bushnell test. It's not Bushnell.
The Bechdel test.
It's not Bushnell, John.
The Bechdel is Bechdel, right?
Thought it was the Bushnell. No, it's not the Bushnell.
Yeah.
John, stop saying that. It's rude.
Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical either of them make it. But when it comes to the Star Wars picture, Patty's writing that with somebody else, right? Patty Jenkins is writing that with somebody else. And so if the writing duty, like I don't know a lot about what her process is. So if she just ends up going and, is like, oh, here's my ideas, write them. And then like that's what writing is for Patty Jenkins as a director. I don't know if that's what it is, by the way. I'm just saying, but if that's what it is, uh if they've been working on the movie for quite a while. It was like before it was even announced, it was around for like a year and a half or so before it was even announced. So it's not like they're starting from square one constantly. It's not like there hasn't been thought and stuff like going into it and things like that. So I'm I am with you in that that until we hear a start date for production, it ain't happening. That's
And
kind of
even
my
then, man,
and even then,
like, look,
yeah,
so Solo. I'd like to say the Solo days are behind them. However,
yeah,
however, I don't think they are. I think we're gonna get more of this weirdness. And you know what's also weird is that JG's back producing these Star Trek films, right? And this is right out they're right out the episode 7 playbook here with let's plant a release date with no plan. They attached a director. It's the guy who put together the WandaVision series, which I like. Get a good TV person, someone's focused on characters. Not a bad call. But it's just like I have to wonder. I mean, I don't put all of the fault by any means on the weird release schedules on Kathleen Kennedy.
hmm
I gotta think JJ had a lot to do with this too. Like, just I can get it done. I'm a tech guy.
I'm a tech guy. Yeah,
I need a good JJ. I think the Morty voice is probably good for JJ, right? Because it sounds nothing like him. Yeah, probably.
yeah. JJ is just too normal, like across the board. He's just a normal dude at Starbucks or something. Um, Dell says that AI algorithm has been right on, pushing issues beyond opinion. Johanna says, when Bad Batch trailer drops, everyone else I was hoping for, I was hoping for Kenobi. Yeah, exactly. Like that's if that's what's happening here, and you get a Bad Batch trailer, I don't think it's really good for either of these things.
It's a bad call. It's unfair to the animation team to be
hmm
throwing them under the bus like that.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. So all right, so 2023 we end with Rogue Squadron. So that's Christmas of 2023 is practically the start of 2024. When you, I mean, you know what I mean? When you look at it like realistically, and that's like, I think it could happen, man. Maybe I just want it to happen, but I think it could. And then in 2024, we got nothing, I don't think. So got some Marvel, got some Avatar, so Avatar 3, and then 2025 Untitled Star Wars, and 2027 Untitled Star Wars. So 2025 to 2027, one of these could be Taika Waititi's Star Wars film.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
Taika Waititi and Stephen Chow need to team up and bring back Jar Jar Binks with Ahmed Best. And I really want it like an old Jar Jar, like a Jackie Chan flick. You know what I mean? Like he's an old kung fu master dude, gets himself into all sorts of weird shenanigans. Actually, make the Jackie Chan flick. Jar Jar Binks, Taika Waititi, get Stephen Chow on. I'm telling you, it would be slapsticky, goofy in all the right fucking ways. Like,
Yeah.
would it bring the fun that Boba Fett was trying to do, but they'd be the cast to do it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Shaolin Soccer in a while, folks, or Kung Fu Hustle, by all fucking means, go watch them tonight. Because they hold up so well.
Well, and when I think back to Aftermath, which has had influence on the live action Star Wars television shows, they do seem to try to honor what they put in text to some degree. I think if Favreau and Filoni like it, then it sticks. For that, if the creator likes it, then what was written definitely sticks. And when you have a show like Boba where they just don't really care what was written, then it doesn't matter. It's kind of where it seems to be. I mean, that's
he's
what
the
it is.
best. What does he matter?
But I'm but when it but what I'm going with this is when you have Jar Jar in Aftermath, from memory, could be wrong, but if I'm remembering this correctly, he's a clown at an orphanage on Naboo. He's just trying to make some kids happy. They could still, I think, if they really wanted to, and Jar Jar's life has been, it's implied it's been a little bit rough, but you could, there might be some wiggle room in that to have Jar Jar still be almost whatever you want, that he was doing
But
community
if
service.
he's older, he doesn't have to be that character anymore. He can be that character older. You know what I mean?
Well,
He's changed.
if he's going to an orphanage to be a clown,
No. I'm talking about like a
no.
kung fu, like Shaolin Jackie Chan
Okay,
movie thing.
what I'm saying is Jar Jar
Oh, the
Binks
book don't count.
Jar Jar. Well, the book it does count, but Jar Jar. Jar Jar. What I'm trying to say here is how the book cannot count, but count is that Jar Jar could be the president of the Chancellor of the Galaxy. He could be a Shaolin monk learning martial arts, learning Terras Kasi now.
Terras Kasi,
But he
with
can
Jar Jar
still,
Binks and Ahmed Best. Dude, come on!
but he could
You see,
still
we
go to the
had Ahmed
orphanage.
on the show. He is in incredible shape.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Ahmed has been fighting
Okay.
COVID like Neo versus all the Asian Smiths
Yeah.
for 2 years.
But
Just
what I'm saying is that he could go and do the orphanage as a clown because he's a good person. Like it was just something he was doing. He could be
Star
Gordon
Wars
Gekko
Make-A-Wish
and a terrible person who goes to the orphanage just to make people happy because he knows he's a piece
to
of
make him
shit.
happy.
Like I mean, you could do whatever. I still think that
You know how much he's a piece of shit? In classic Star Wars Santa capitalist fashion, he's also really wealthy, but he doesn't give the money to the kids. He's just there to
right.
help. Money to laughter is what is better than money.
Well, he holds out the hat, he gets it full, then he drops it in his wallet and puts the hat on and says, "Thanks, kids," and walks away.
Means about.
Okay. Dale says, not necessarily. Rangers of the New Republic, Patty Jenkins movie is just being reworked by others. And that is always a possibility that if Patty Jenkins couldn't do it, they're just like, we're going to continue production. And if you're not the director, it'll be somebody else. It doesn't have to be Patty Jenkins, like I was saying before, unless there's some twist to the story, which there very well may be, that's uniquely Patty's content, so to speak, or Patty's take. It could easily
burn a bridge too, or open yourself up to lawsuits if there's some.
I don't know, but it just ends up being one of those situations where Rogue Squadron existed before Patty Jenkins. You know what I mean? And your dad doesn't have to be a fighter pilot to make a good. I doubt I doubt when what's his name made Top Gun, his dad was a fighter pilot. That's what I'm trying to say.
Doug Masters is real, and his dad was a fighter pilot. I think Doug Masters should be directing the Star Wars. He lived. He didn't actually die in Iron Eagle 2. He actually lived. He came back. So
and then Santa and Dale are talking about how Patty dropped Cleopatra to keep Star Wars. I do remember there was an article saying that they were moving everything and she was going, the Cleopatra project.
Nobody's gonna fucking see that movie. Dude.
Nah.
Look. What was that movie they made with the guy who plays Jaime Lannister, where it was like in Egypt and they all had like eagle wings and shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looked like, remember when Ubisoft made that game that looked like Breath of the Wild with like Kid Icarus, but it had the most generic, shitty looking art design? Like it was something Rising or some stupid fucking. It was. No one cares about your desert stories with your kings and queens, man. Like that day is gone. Like stop. You know, like fucking waste of money.
Yeah. It would. If you're a popcorn movie director, and you would take Cleopatra over Star Wars, you're not making the right career decisions. Star Wars Santa says the cyber war will make all our electronics useless, and we'll have to go back to theater and the sound for storytelling. Probably.
Someone tell Star Wars Santa they don't print this shit on film anymore.
Right?
Like,
we just won't have it anymore. Let's be gone.
How do you think it's delivered through the internet, Santa? They're all digital now, you fucking idiot.
Whoa, call Santa a fucking idiot? No. No.
You know what? I got coal last year, and I'm not, because I said I was cold, so he gave me coal. I don't know if I was bad or good. It happens. But Star Wars Santa should be preventing Star Wars Putin from doing his shenanigans right now, and he ain't doing it. So
Did you
he's on
did
my
you see
shit list.
that lady who wrote on like a Twitter video who wrote like Putin like a fucking poem about like if I was your mother? It was so cringy. And but comedians were like
Sounds like that
responding.
Imagine shit.
People
Yeah.
were putting that in there, but this comedian did a spoof of it. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth.
So
Um,
you're blaming his parents for him being a. Okay, sure,
yeah,
that's it.
but so Mark Hamilton says if TBB is May 4th, like they tweeted, the Bad Batch, like they tweeted, then it makes sense for the trailer to drop first. True, it does. It does. Did did they freeze or is it just me? I was at 11:20.
No, I checked it. We're fine.
Okay.
We never froze.
Oh, and then here you are. It's you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to skip any of the comments. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Yeah, I was legit excited for Jar Jar Scoop some time ago. It caught me off guard. Yeah, I wish that was happening, and it's not. Mark Hamilton
That was
says,
right before they canceled Obi-Wan, right?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what
Let's see, that was
how
around
all
the
of
same
that goes.
time.
Yeah.
Right, whatever.
Yeah, it was on and off, on and off. It was like all over the place. You know what I mean? There was productions at Pinewood that were starting, that were stopping. It was a lot of confusion. You know. Mark Hamilton says could just see him walking some kids by the street as an Easter egg. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, no, Jar Jar better be alive. That's the thing.
I'm telling you right now, this company owes it to Ahmed Best to give him a win.
Yeah,
More than Ewan McGregor. More, the only person maybe they owe it a little bit as equal to, I wouldn't say more, but equal to would be Jake Lloyd. But Jake Lloyd has personal issues. They should definitely be helping if that's a financial thing with that. I think they owe him a little bit. Mm-hmm. But Ahmed Best is a working professional actor who's kicking ass. And I know he doesn't want to be defined by that role. I get it. But even if he didn't play in the role, they deserve to give him, like, dude, fucking give him, make him himself on screen working with Jar Jar. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Give him a fucking win. Like, how crazy would that be?
No, I mean, but the thing is that if Jar Jar didn't work in the movies that he was in, if they didn't do a good job with him, in anybody's opinion, then go make it good. Then go do one that there is nothing actually broken about the character itself. That's the whole thing for me about Jar Jar Binks. Is there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I mean, with him, it's 90% of it was the edit. Was that I think they were a little bit too in love with what Jar Jar can do, and they kept showing us what Jar Jar can do, as opposed to, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And I think that's what
a lot of people didn't give a shit about Thor, actually, until the Avengers film, when Joss wrote him funny. And turns out Chris Hemsworth's a really good comedian. And then you go backwards with Thor 2. But by Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, bro, it's on. And I'm saying that if any character deserves fucking rehab, right? Rehabilitation, man. Like, that's the one.
Yeah, today on Star Wars Santa's show, I gave him $20. And as a good capitalist, he said that he loved Karl Marx. Because that's how much of a capitalist Star Wars Santa is. He would say he loves Karl Marx for $20.
I love you, Star Wars Santa. I love you now. We're making up.
And I did record it. I do have it on my phone. I haven't edited out the excess, but it will definitely come back. It was worth it.
Star Wars Santa's like, it's always cold up here in the poles, just like Russia. Never a bread line at Star Wars Santa shop.
Elf Healthcare is Laughtercade. Laughtercade. Justin West.
Johnny, good one. I like it.
I liked the story you told me about when Johnny went on your stream. What he said?
Oh, he went on my stream and told me I was better as a ghost, right? Better off as a ghost. And I'm like, man, we're all gonna be ghosts one day, Johnny. Don't worry, you'll get there. We'll all be hitchhiking ghosts.
Justin says Jar Jar hooks up with Kira. runs Crimson Dawn Post Mall, and Kira forces him to do orphanage charity work because she has a soft spot for orphans. All right, everybody, we're
I
ready for
don't
Justin
think the
Star Wars.
world's ready for a frog and a human woman to get together yet. You know, Henson's ready. I'm ready. You
George
know,
Lucas and Howard the Duck was definitely ready.
I'm telling you, I was strangely attracted to that new duck
Oh
with
no!
the feather tits, dude. Gotta tell you, that and the chick from Little Shop of Horrors. Suddenly Seymour had me. Love the lisp. Love it.
Something tells me that Star Wars Santa likes Richard Marx. Just gonna throw that
He's
out
like,
there.
I thought you meant Richard Marx. Oh no, not Karl Marx.
He texted me the other day, and he's just like rocking out to Phil Collins, and he texted me to let me know that he was just like the drums on In the Air Tonight were going off, and he was just like, yeah, he was loving it. So yeah, so anyways, is Gods of Egypt the Cleopatra one, or is that
Yeah, sadly,
is that the movie?
Now, Joel, I gotta know. Did you look it up, or do you know it? Because if you know it, you get the golf clap. If you looked it up, I'm not impressed. Anyone could do that. Fucking looking shit up.
Looking stuff up. What is this? What is
Yeah,
this?
it's either in your head or you're
Facts.
stupid.
You look
Honestly,
for facts?
honestly, I'm gonna be honest. When I was a kid, no one told me you had to study. Right? Like I was left completely on my own. I thought if you didn't know it, it's because you're stupid.
Yeah.
Because my dad would just tell me you don't know things because you're stupid. So I didn't know. Like you had to read and memorize books. I was just like, well, I don't know because I'm dumb. I didn't learn studying until my sophomore year. You know, like in high school. It's like, why am I failing everything? And someone was like, you don't study, you idiot. I'm like, I don't have time to study. Wait, you study? You go home. They're like, you go home and you read and learn. I'm like, oh, I take care of kids and I mow lawns and I'm cleaning till midnight. Like study. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about the studying stuff. You know, it sounds stupid to me. I was actually pretty anti-studying. I pretty much got really good at just reading a book once and then not needing to study.
Well, what they did at my school, little Rob story, they gave us this thing called block schedule my junior year. And so what it was 90 minute to 2 hour classes. You only had 3 a day. And all the work was done in class, so you didn't take anything home. And they got rid of the wall lockers. I went from C's and D's to an A, and it wasn't because I had easy classes. It was because I could do all my work there. Because everyone was like, we had these 30-minute classes, 7 classes a fucking day, like 30, 35 minutes, you know? And then they were like, all you have to do is an hour's worth of homework. I'm like, well, that's fucking 6 to 7 hours of homework. If I get home, I don't get home till 4 because I got to take a 2-hour bus ride. So like, or 90-minute bus ride. And it's like, I've had 7 hours. I'm doing homework till 11 o'clock. No fucking way this is happening. But when we were able to do all the work there in class, you know, and I scored pretty high on my SAT, so it wasn't stupid. It's just the system. That's when I learned the system can be rigged against people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that was the first real understanding I had that, well, this system was always going to generate Rob failing unless the system changed, you know, and it did. So I was real fortunate.
So, really quickly, Mark Hamilton wants to know if Kira and Jar Jar become a thing, is it Keyjar or Jara? I think I'm a Jara. I think I'm on Jara's. I'm on the Jara side of this.
Jara rolls better, but Keyjar, I just want to have to hear every asshole say it in an interview. Like Bob Iger, or sorry, Bob Paycheck comes out and says, yeah, that's what they're calling him now. And a Keyjar is our next big release. You know, I just want to hear it. Like Keytar, right?
Yeah, Keytar. Yeah. And my other band, Keytarded. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that. Probably somebody's getting mad. I don't care anyway. I'm moving on. Mark Hamilton says that tongue of Jar Jar's would sure. Yeah. I saw these I don't remember what it was, something on YouTube. They were like it was like these are the cringiest TikTok videos. And there's like these videos where dudes like get on a camera and they start like trying to seduce the person watching the video. And boy, it's super creepy. But there was this guy with the Jar Jar style tongue and he's just like doing it. And it was like,
One day these videos are going to come back to haunt them and they'll get canceled after making a successful film. Can't wait. Can't wait. We're going to get another round. It'll go away. And then when they're making a successful film, it'll come back and this is what will pop up. These stupid fucking TikTok videos. And they can't deny they did it because it's all on camera.
So thank you for the 199 Kindle. Can I drop a join link in the comments? I am a little stupid here and I don't know how to drop a join link. I mean, when you go, if this helps, and I'm sorry if this doesn't, I think I actually deleted it. Never mind, I don't have it. But if you go in browser mode and you just go to the Making Star Wars page, there's the subscribe button, and then there's the join button. So I'm
It's because the mobile app is stupid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck around with it on my phone and see if there's a way. I should do that. We should both do that. But there has to be. Everyone looks on their phone.
It's like the thing I don't know is can I drop can I copy like can I click on the join thing on my side and put that link? Is that what would do it? Because I want to help. I don't want to lock people out especially who want to support the show.
Yeah, 100%.
Let me see.
We want the mullahs.
I cannot copy the I could click join and there's no way to
there's a link in your YouTube studio that you can copy and paste.
Oh, there is in my YouTube studio.
That's what Star Wars Santa says. Look, Santa knows how to make the monies. So
yeah, someone's
paying for them toys.
Right. Yeah. Where's it at in this YouTube studio? I see all kinds of things right here. Got some dashboard playlists. Got some copyright going. All kinds of stuff going on over here. But anyways, yeah, we'll figure it out someday. Someday, I promise. We'll figure it out. Can't look up stuff while I'm on YouTube. Yeah, see? He knows. He knows.
Oh, so Joel knew. All right, Joel, you win.
I think my dad was watching that movie on like Christmas or something, and I was just like,
I'm so sorry.
I was like, what is this? What?
Fucking
why is Sawyer from Lost doing this to us? Remember when Donnie Darko did that Prince of Persia movie and they just like put like guy liner on him or something? It was like Donnie Darko and guy liner. At least that's how I remember the movie going. Yeah. That wasn't working out too well, I don't think either. But that's what Patty Jenkins would pretty much be signing up for, probably. I don't know.
Can we put the join link eventually in the info box when it's on the YouTube? We can put it there, right?
Well, if I figure out how to get one of these goddamn
Star Wars Santa, it has made you a guide right there.
Okay. So YouTube Studio. Monetization.
Yeah, he's a tech. Star Wars Santa is a tech guy.
You're a tech guy.
Yeah,
you're a total tech guy.
We normally joke about this, but it's true.
Okay, so all right, and then monetization, memberships, and then the upper right hand side, huh?
Under links to share, right hand side under links to share.
Links to share. Oh my! I invite users to join the channel. We got one. Ghostbusters time. Hit the button.
We got that out faster than a Star Trek script.
Okay, so I don't know if that works, but I messaged it there. I put it in the chat. I don't know if it's a link that you could do anything with, but that's what it looks like. And that's how you do it. And I will, now that I know this wizardry, I will add it into the description. That way people can just do it. And thank you, Santa, for the help. I appreciate it, dude. But yeah, Nolan says the problem joining on mobile is Apple charges a percentage on in-app purchases. Comixology doesn't allow people to buy comics digitally in their phone. I think YouTube probably avoids in-app purchases as well.
Okay. Did that change? Because I used to buy all my Comixology comics on my phone. I don't know. So yeah, I know I had to delete that. Amazon bought them and they switched the whole fucking thing over to the Kindle app. It's fucking horrible. I've deleted it. It's dead to me now.
Yeah.
So it's unusable. The Kindle app is one of the worst fucking apps I've ever used in my entire life for anything. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good. I was using that. I only have it to look at the extras on my iPad for the Star Wars, the expanded books with like the video files and stuff. It's like the only reason why I ever have it is just to access that content. Hey, we did it. Kendall, you're part of the cult. Thank you for joining. Kendall's in the cult.
You're in the cult.
Boo gobble, boo gobble. We accept him. We accept.
Let's drink it up.
Yeah.
Had to do it.
Yep.
We had to drink. We all drink the Tuscan juice, and then.
and I want to thank everyone who became a channel member and supported the show this week. I looked at our growth, where we were going, and I met it in the middle, and that's what got us up to 1080p now for the year. We're 1080p for the year right now. So if we continue to grow, maybe someday it'll be 4K. I don't know.
Next year we're going down to CRT level. Yeah. We're going down to 140p.
Honestly, I want to turn this into a movie. I want to take this to film.
You really want to piss people off? Let's stream this on our end to a CRT and just put the camera in front of the CRT so it has even the refresh bar.
And then write like Making Star Wars show send trophy. Remember that's what my my bootleg of Attack of the Clones was. My leaked send trophy bootleg of Attack of the Clones.
And if they subscribe to the Patreon, they can get the video CD quality.
The first time I ever watched Attack of the Clones was on bootleg. I could not wait. Didn't give a shit. Yeah. I did it. Yeah, watched it. I remember sitting I'm watching on my old ass computer. It wasn't a 486. It was the computer I got after the 486, and I was like sitting on the floor watching it. I'm like, it's amazing. I'm watching Star Wars right now. But it
would have been interesting. Mm-hmm. Like I've never thought about this till now, but like, had you and I met at the Attack of the Clones, we'd have a much different relationship here.
Yeah. No, but back then, a couple of edgelords would have been fighting probably. I'm kidding.
No, I just would have been like, why are you doing this to yourself? Mm-hmm. You know, it's never going to fulfill anything beyond an interesting concept art book. And that art book's going to be filled with way better shit than whatever ends up in these films.
And then I would be like, I'm enjoying the movie. And you'd be like, but Spider-Man. And I would be like, I don't care about Spider-Man. That's usually.
No, I always felt those films were overrated. Like, okay, cool, yes, fun, but
Matrix
corny.
And Lord of the Rings. Like that's what would, that was what would continually be
Wasn't
used.
A good time for film, bro.
And yeah, no. But that is also something that I think you always have to take into account is what was the state of the art when it was released, what were movies like? And if my options from memory are Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, the Mummy movies,
I would say you're better off spending the 2 hours playing Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City. That would have been you're going to get a way better experience than these fucking films. These films are dog shit and they're a waste of our time and money. They're not going to be that way forever, but for now, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So
Kendall, I did this, I made this record, and on it I have Jim Jones on the cover, and I have a song on it called Kool-Aid Man, about that and pop culture. It's about Star Wars and pop culture and all that stuff together, right? But
where my fruit punch?
Yeah, where my fruit punch? I will always get somebody going, oh, it wasn't Kool-Aid, it was Flavor Aid. And I'm like, yeah, but if I call it Flavor Aid, nobody fucking remembers Flavor Aid, really. I mean, I remember Flavor Aid.
Can you put Jim Jones on a cover and call it Where My Fruit Punch and get away with that these days? Or are you canceled? All right.
At this point, it's only
because no offense, I saw Titanic a dozen times in the theater, but if way more people died now on the Titanic, and they literally have. There's a site called Current Affair. They have a magazine, right? The Progressive magazine, not a Current Affair, it's just called Current Affair. And they wrote a great article on Titanic and how weird it is
Yeah.
that this fucking catastrophe of a situation, people like there's theme parks, you know what I mean? And they dress up and role play for this. Like,
Remember that the Christmases after Titanic? You go to like a Christmas tree lot and there's like a giant Titanic blow up boat half with like a
the
slide.
first
going
time I
down.
saw that, I took a photograph. This is one of the first things I ever posted to the internet, like on social media, because I was at fucking Mission Valley, the Mission Valley 20 in San Diego. I was there. I walk out of the far left side of I walk out and there's this fucking inflatable Titanic. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
hey, why don't we have a little nuclear bomb explosion too? And little, you know what I mean? The Japan floating up in the air. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh
It's
no,
horrible.
Justin has to go to work. Time to get back to work. Hope you all have a good weekend. I'd love to leave a Star Wars quote that sticks with me today. This is how we win. Saving what we love, not destroying what we hate. That is a good way to live. Joel says,
Unless you're Batman. Batman! This is everyone's favorite part of the trailer. Fucking Batman!
and,
yeah, right?
yeah. And once again, thank you, Kendall. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Kendall.
Mark says, what are channel members called? Makers? I don't know. I just know you're in a cult. That's all I know.
Thank the makers.
We
called it. I like it.
We are
Thank
the
the
Chudongulas. Yeah, Chudongulas are pretty good one. Thank the makers. Joel says mental wards. Whoa, welcome to the mental ward. Yeah,
Joel coming at it with 2007's internet puns. You know? Hey, careful, Joel. You end up like James Gunn. End up making a real successful TV series, marrying a fucking beautiful actress.
I just wanted to address everybody on the stream today that me and Rob got together and we decided that the show is going to become a morning zoo show. Okay. So
65 degrees, 75 out right there.
Whoa.
Whoa!
TV.
Chubabooey!
One day we're just gonna do a bunch
I
of
want
drugs.
space lizards.
Just go right
Space
into it.
lizards.
Bunch of space lizards, and yeah, it'd be good. Oh no, where can I join? I can't take the prequel bashing. Right, that's what I say. I am a prequel person. We are on the same page here.
I appreciate the concept art from the prequels. I just don't like the films. I like the Phantom Menace the most out of all of them, and I didn't say much. So.
Yeah.
But look, here's the thing though, Kendall. It's not bashing. I think what's amazing is you gotta understand, I quit Star Wars after walking out of Attack of the Clones, right? Threw all my shit away. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. But I come back to it, you know, like with vim and vigor, you know? So I think, you know, time heals all wounds. Right, unless you're a white supremacist, then time just festers wounds, and yeah, they're in their own world. But
fair enough.
It's not bashing, but man, if we can't be critical of the things we love, creatively, constructively critical. Like I was the guy at Horton Plaza a month in May of 1998. Laughing at a screening of Batman and Robin, telling them how this fucking thing's gonna fail. I was like, you're gonna, and I pointed to the Titanic, which by the way, the Titanic promo thing was just a steel box, like a fake steel box. It was cardboard, just said Titanic, didn't have anything on it. I was like, that fucking steel box movie with the boat sinking is gonna kick the shit out of this piece of crap. But 2005, you know what I mean? You get a whole new Batman series, changes the whole tone, and then here we are on the cusp of another Batman.
Yeah.
So
UFO.
I will always love how these movies are made.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still love the prequel movies. Still watch them all the time. You know. But and that is the testament to the fact that they worked. They did work for me. You know, when they came out. The one thing that I'm more critical now about the prequels that I wasn't before. It is that there was sort of this bar for acting, and I think A New Hope kind of set it a little bit low. It was very much a Disney at the time style of acting movie. It was very, very much like, oh geez, you know, here we go kind of acting. It wasn't super. It was just very tropey acting, And then Empire Strikes Back comes along, and acting is still a little bit weird, but it gets a lot better. Then Return of the Jedi comes out, and they're speaking like they're Shakespearean act, like if Shakespeare was writing in the 80s. It's strange. It's super strange, and that's not to say that I don't like it. I do, but it's weird. Then when you get to the prequels, we're back to a weird acting kind of format again, and I'm just like, yeah, this has always been very off and a bit strange. But now that we have Star Wars coming out and the acting is like more, I don't know, it's more closer to an A usually, like in the films, especially. Book of Boba Fett maybe had the worst acting of anything new, but beyond Book of Boba Fett, I think the acting is super stellar for the most part, for state of the art, if you will, for popcorn movies. And then now when you watch the prequels, the acting is a little bit harder to like take for me than it was. It wasn't a problem for me, and it's kind of a problem for me now. Whereas before, I was
I
just
think
like, yeah,
the way I like it is people understand I fucking love Jackie Brown. All right, the movie
mm-hmm.
Jackie Brown, and Sam Jackson deserved all the accolades of his performance in that film. And to go from Jackie Brown to Mace Windu was real tough. And I don't mean like the mannerisms or the slang. I'm just saying that he had presence in that film.
Sure.
And it's like, how do you have someone who can command that kind of presence and then he just sits there giving everyone the Spock eyebrow? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what, why? You know, like if you got a guy that fucking good of an actor, I mean, no offense to Liam Neeson, we already had a white bearded guy. We had a white bearded guy next to a kid who's going to grow into be a white bearded guy. Make fucking the Qui-Gon character Mace Windu. Give me something new. Give me with an actor who can carry weight. You know what I mean? Like if it was Mace Windu and Obi-Wan walking around, that's a whole new dynamic. You know? And like it was just wasted opportunities. And anyone that I feel is like, doesn't matter, it was quite good. Okay, but let's come on, be honest. This was not a hard thing to get better. Unfortunately, that's the way they are, which is why I'm all for Mace surviving and having a failed character arc. I think the Jorah Sabath storyline, if you mix that with Mace Windu, that he survived, but he survived on anger and hate, and it corrupted him, and he's out ruling a planet. You know what I mean? Like with these poor people, and he's just a monster. You know what I mean? It's something to reckon with. You know, like, and can you? And then if Boba Fett encounters that, like the worst, like how do you take revenge on a guy who's already gone as far as one can go? You know what I mean? Like, do you change? Do you save that person? You know, which is very Star Warsy. And so, I think Star Wars, the best Star Wars, is still in front of us. I have said that since Last Jedi. I mean, since any Star Wars film, like the best Star Wars is yet to be made. So that's why I'm here, because I'm excited. I want to be talking about when we see fucking the next level Star Wars. What I don't want is people to say, well, that's how it always is, so that's how it's always going to be. That's like saying, hey, you know what? Spider-Man was good. Spider-Man 2 was good, so it can never fucking get better. Just let it be corny shit, you know, for the next 50, 100 years, you know? Like, no, like it needs to continue to grow. Those films were what they were, but it can't just stay there in 2001.
Well,
you know,
here's the thing. When Disney kills you, they will give you Kool-Aid. But when George Lucas kills you, he'll give you Flavor Aid. That's the big difference with the prequel acting.
I think, well, no. See, yeah, but when Ike Perlmutter kills you, you don't even get water.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like,
Darth Rios says the prequel music is some of the best in Star Wars. And yeah, I honestly feel like a part of the reason the prequels work so well for me is because of the fact that when you rewatch something as much as a Star Wars fan does, that becomes one of the draws to the rewatchability of it, is the fact that I am sort of listening to a soundtrack. It might be a little bit of comfort in there. It might be sort of like a comforting kind of thing to some degree, but it's also like it's that music over and over again. And I think that that's in a weird way maybe why I don't watch Solo and Rogue One over and over. I like the movies. I think they're good movies, but I don't watch them over and over again. And I know people like
I do. I
Giacchino's
watch Rogue
music,
One.
but I don't really
I
like
3D on my VR
I
headset
don't ever have
at
the
least twice a year.
I don't ever have the Rogue One music in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't connect with me on that level. But I think the prequel music is a huge part of it. It's that and the story itself. And then it has execution issues, but I think that's why I'm able to see past it. Kendall says, so you have a toxic relationship with Star Wars." Laugh out loud.
Toxic relationship with everything except my dog. My dog is as pure as that's it. My wife hates the relationship I have with my dog. Like it's this guy. We sit there every night, right? It was right before I go to sleep. I get on the couch, I got my wine, put on some Dragon Quest videos or whatever, and I sit here and my dog comes in and he just lies on his back. You know what I mean? And I just tell him how much I love him.
Yeah.
You know, I whisper it in his ear so he could just hear it and give him little belly rubs. You know, get a little massage, clean the boogies out of his eyes, you know, massage his little big old schnauzer mustache. It's the happiest fucking part of my day, you know? Like it's so weird. And she's just like, "You're disgusting. You love that dog more than anything in the world." Yes.
Yeah.
Even myself.
Yeah. Don't come between us.
I love Rogue One score.
Rob, show us on the doll where Star Wars touched you. Junkbox says,
Joel, telling you, man, never get into entertainment because they are going to come after you for these tweets.
yeah, go make little
They're
bands.
great,
This next level writing. I actually like that. I thought that kind of stuff was funny. There is sort of, in a weird way, I feel like at times, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just because of my involvement with the internet, but I feel like those kinds of things they know are going to be memed and become somewhat viral as memes, which is promotion for the show. I question if some of that stuff, and I could be completely wrong, but I question if some of that stuff would be allowed to happen if it wasn't for the internet age. Like if this was written in 1985, would they have allowed that moment? Would that be in the movie, or is that in there today because they know people on social media will discuss it? I don't even think it's a problem, but I'm saying I do.
Good question.
It does feel very like a very modern choice in that way.
And when you got like several hours of the show, then people aren't hanging on every line. That's the problem too. When you have a 90-minute to 2-hour film and you're just hanging on it, quote the line. Well, in a TV series, it's hard to think about how many episodes of Breaking Bad there is, and people, you know, still say I'm the one who knocks. Like I think of all the lines in that show, you know, like they still hang on like a few quotable moments.
Right. Yeah, and Junkbox
had a good
says
score.
Rogue One had a good score, and I do think it has a good score. I also, though, I'm like to be a little bit snobby. I don't really listen to scores. Like if I want to listen to music, or if I want to listen to classical music, I just listen to classical music. So I don't really like go and like put on like the Raiders of the Lost Ark soundtrack and just be like, yeah, fuck yeah, Johnny boy, you're doing it. You know, I watch the film instead. Like that's just me though.
I found so I like the sound of vinyl, right?
Yeah,
there's vinyl versions. There's vinyl versions of these Star Wars scores like Rogue One. However, I don't have a record player because I'm not storing. So I try to get like people's recordings of the vinyl, but it doesn't have enough hiss or pop. Sometimes when they play it, it sounds too clean. So through the internet. So what I do is I found a video where someone just had hiss and pop on a vinyl, and I play that at the same time on a different, and I mix it. I mix it in.
It doesn't make any sense.
Layered it. Look, that's an artist, right? Just layer it in, so I can add some of that hiss and pop into my.
So when they put these records out, two things happen. Is when it's an actual like analog recording, it's not as compressed as like your MP3 that you'll have streamed. So you actually do have a much richer, bigger sound on vinyl. You will have sometimes you'll have the pop and the hiss here and there, but it's ultimately better. And you can listen to more music in a day if you listen to the higher quality, because when it's all just loudness turned up, then your ears get tired quicker. You buy less music. It's this whole loudness war that we're having, bad for everybody. But what also happens when you go to like Urban Outfitters and they have a vinyl record of something, oh wow, they made a Rogue One vinyl. Let's just pretend like that was a thing. Well, there's two things that can happen. It could be an actual like analog master that does sound really good and it's way better. Sometimes though, they'll take the MP3 at 192 or 320 at best, but probably 192, and they put the MP3 onto analog, so there's no addition, there's no better sound there. It's actually just a collectible. So it completely depends on how it was mastered and stuff. So yeah,
Probably
trippy,
explains
trippy stuff.
why
I hope that makes
I'm
sense.
like, I don't know if it doesn't sound like what I want it to sound. So I had the hiss and pop. Then I like it.
Yeah, some people will take like the actual vinyl recordings of things and do like really high, really big files, like usually FLAC files or something, and then you could kind of get that going if you have like a good stereo system. But
I like the lower quality. I like what I used to hear
Mhm.
on cassette tapes, all fucked up and shit. You know what I mean? Like I do. I like. There's something about the lack of quality that I appreciate more than the higher quality.
You know, I
The
feel that
noise.
way. Believe it or not, not going to win me any cool points here. But as like a 9-year-old, I was rocking some Paula Abdul "Forever Your Girl," and I do not like it in high quality. I want that shit on cassette tape, or it's yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Uh,
Mhm.
I hit puberty right when her Vitalogy video came out. Gotta tell you, that
Uh-huh.
video hit me in a whole different way. I was like,
Oh yeah, I was
that
no,
video was straight up softcore porn, dude.
yeah, no, it made my pubes grow. I didn't have any, and I just started growing
Vibology, not
pubes.
Vitalogy. Vibology.
Yeah,
Vitalogy is
no,
a
you're
Pearl Jam
talking.
album.
I think you're talking about your crush for Eddie Vedder and Vitology, the Pearl
I
Jam
don't even
record.
know what he looks like, but that's hilarious.
Well, he's just like climbing
Yeah,
on stuff
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
That's a, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, Better Man hit me in a whole different way now.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Vibology.
Fireball. Okay. Dell
Go
says
watch the video.
that's a good video. Dell says I also watched the Clone Wars with my girlfriend through a timeline rewatch. Yeah, what did you think, Dale? I'm actually anti watching the Clone Wars in order because I just feel like you get too much bad quality stuff. Because like what they did was they wrote a bunch of like episodes that weren't really important, that didn't really matter, and all of that stuff is like in the same timeline. So when somebody goes to watch it in order for the first time, especially, they watch the worst of the show, and it's like, oh, so every
What
time I
happened
try
to me? Quit it. Fuck this shit.
yeah,
I'm not doing it.
so it's a bit, I'm a bit because like with Clone Wars when it aired, they were bringing season 2 episodes into the season 1 airings. That's that they were a little bit ahead of production, and they had better stuff in season 2. They started bringing season 2 content into season 1, pushing the bad season 1 stuff into the season 2 stuff. So you have like it's a bit rocky. They had more time to rework some stuff from season 1 if they wanted to, but I honestly don't think they really did because I
The
don't really
only thing I saw out of the brief amount of Clone Wars material I watched was I thought the Jar Jar episode with
Mhm.
3PO and them was actually pretty entertaining.
It was good.
Yeah, yeah,
Kevin Rubio wrote
yeah,
that one. Kevin Rubio
yeah.
wrote that, and he
That's
did a great
probably why.
job. Yeah,
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 yeah.
I love that guy. Yeah, he did a good job, and yeah, it's well written, and that's once again a good example of where I'm like, Jar Jar is an opportunity, and almost I don't think for the most part people should be afraid to write Jar Jar because
I'm
it's
telling you, if you
probably going to
had
be liked
that
compared
vein
to
of
what it
Kung
was.
Fu Hustle, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, if you had that Stephen Chowness, you know what I mean? I don't know what he's up to directing, but you creatively, you could bring the dude in to help you storyboard the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like if you paired him up with someone,
Yeah,
you know, like you'd get something that is just, it's just totally different, you know, and would actually, I think would really work, you know, like, and
yeah,
I'm the guy who's like, I thought Jar Jar was a colossal misfire, just in that if Lucas is trying to sell technology, which is really what I see the prequels as being, it's like a giant demo reel to keep ILM in business because there's a lot of competition. You had Digital Domain, you had all these different guys are leaving your studio and forming, banned from the ranch, shit like that. Weta, you had all this other stuff going on. It's like, why would you make your big demo a fucking nerd, the most annoying, so annoying the characters in the movie are annoyed by him? You should make that character 3PO, right? Like all metal, or the alien monster bad guys, like the Nemodians were originally going to be CGI. Or just Yoda is the CG character, someone we all will love. You know what I mean? No matter fucking what, and we'll give it a big pass. It's just making it this new annoying character was just like, just from a business sense, is like, it's not, so you're on the wrong foot,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. Yeah, and I knew the Rogue One thing wasn't vinyl. Yeah, I actually have the episode 7 holographic Millennium. I think it was a Millennium Falcon record. Like when it spins, it's crazy. Makes your eyes go cross-eyed. Joking. Dan says chronological is the only way, or Dale says chronological is the only way. Yeah, gotta say I'm a release release person. I could skip most of the first 2 seasons though. Yeah, that's kind of where I fall. Is like the power of the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars was the introduction of those characters. And now we know those characters so well that those episodes, you're a little bit like, okay, yeah, that's Cad Bane. I get it. Like I know what Cad Bane does, and Cad Bane does so much cool shit in those shows. And by the way, don't believe Cad Bane's dead. And the cool thing about Cad Bane that we didn't get to see is he has rocket boots. And I thought sure we were going to have rocket boots versus rocket pack in the sky.
Right. Oh yeah. Again, whiteboard idea, missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Rocketeer like flight thing, fight, it could be cool.
Joel says, I'm reading this in Garth's voice. MC Scat Cat made me feel funny.
Fun little note about Scat Cat. The guy who taught me how to animate in 2D animated Scat Cat, Jerry Bryce.
Jerry Bryce.
So yeah.
So you're kind of like a friend of Scat Cat when you get down to it.
A little bit.
A little bit. The 7 degrees of MC Scat Cat, and we got Rob. Our sensei says, "Rebel me. Ezra is my favorite Star Wars character.
Rebel me this, right?
Rebel me this.
Rebel me this."
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday was pretty funny. I'm playing the Batman game with my son, and I like leave the room for a few minutes. I got a phone call and I come back in, and I see him and he has the controller and he's like trying to get the camera to look down Catwoman's cat suit. I was like, what a little dude. I just went to take off my call. I was like, yeah, I get it. But yeah,
I can respect that.
No, back in the day, I remember like I used to just buy blank cassette tapes, and I would buy like a little pack, right? And one pack would be for my Dr. Demento episodes, because I would record Dr. Demento to get the funny songs. And there was like the Star Trek and
Star Trekking across the universe. Yeah. Boot to the head, all that shit, right?
Yeah. Fish heads. Fish heads. Yeah. And I would just, always wait for the new one. Gotta be the Batman, gotta be Adam West, all of those. Yeah. And but then I would have my other ones, and then that's where it would be like, oh yeah, I'm recording me some Paula Abdul off Power 106 right now. But then there just came this day where I was like, all of this is a lie. This is all a lie. And then Nirvana comes out. Then I'm just like, yeah, this is it, man. Punk rock. Fuck everything. Fuck you, Beavis and Butthead.
You're so punk.
All these
so punk. Meanwhile, I'm like, Beavis and Butthead and Monday Night Raw You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listening to the Crow soundtrack and the Batman Forever soundtrack, not the score. I like the soundtrack. I didn't like the score.
Uh,
Listen to Danny Elfman's score. You know, like listen to Mortal Kombat album, the album and the movie album. But the
oh,
album is where the real fun begins.
yeah.
Sub Zero.
Yeah.
So cold. So
No,
so bad.
everyone had the Crow soundtrack. Even the punk kids had the Crow
Oh,
soundtrack.
no, my neighbor didn't. Then he borrowed mine and returned it all fucked up. You know, like I never got it. This is the first time I ever let a friend use the CD, and then it came back like just looked like gritty kitty litter. You know, I was like, "What did you do? What the fuck possibly happened?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's still sitting in my drawer over there. It's unusable. You know,
Right. Right.
I won't get rid of it though.
Yeah. Because like I was like
going
a
in
kid,
the
I'm
coffin.
like all obsessed with like the muffs and the fastbacks and stuff. And then you have like Interstate Love Song from Stone Temple Pilots. And I'm like, I
Love it.
know this is corporate, fake ass fucking grunge music. I know it.
Yeah.
But man, I kind of like it, but I kind of hate it too.
Yeah, I want to get in the car and drive, man. Those first two albums are great. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. They were, you know, when it got down to it, just arena rock disguised as a grunge or whatever
Fine.
you want to call it.
You know what? I like Trap's album came out last year.
Wait, Trap? Who's Trap?
Trapped.
Trapped.
Trapt. Yeah, they've been out for 10 years. They came back with a new album. Every one of the songs is fucking awesome. Look, it's mainstream rock. It's older. And like when you listen, you go, this isn't. But I'm like, this is great. You know, like I don't. Look. I'm not a hard dude to please. So if I complain about Star Wars, I'm like, it stepped into the. I just feel when you're at the top, you have to innovate, and it doesn't mean like in the crazy little matte effect we did in the background. Star Wars has the most fertile playground for storytelling that has been untapped. You know, like there is a fucking masterpiece. Not and what's great about Star Wars is what I'm talking about. Like there could be a real serious, deep, you know, James and Johnny like fucking storyline waiting to happen, and then there's a Stephen Chow crazy fucking kung fu hustle Star Wars story waiting to be told. They just haven't. They're so afraid of if we move it, probably because of the prequels, because he did something that was so different, and had those movies just been backed up with a fun story that had a tragic ending, then whatever. But you know, like blame Pepsi for not letting George Lucas hire help. It's the only thing I've ever heard that makes sense. Why wouldn't he got help on the last 3 films? Why wouldn't he have gotten help? What something held George from getting help, you know? And it wasn't because he's like, he hates writing. If he could have handed that to someone else, he would have. I believe it, you know.
Well, like, I mean, if we obviously have that Pepsi quote from what's his name, and maybe that's true. But if it's not true, it just came down to the fact that Lucas was like, you know what? I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to make my movie, and I just don't want to be questioned. I just don't want. I just want to make the movie how I want to make the movie, and otherwise, I don't really want to do it. But this makes you want to do it, so I'm just going to do it. And yeah, I think it's like when you get real fired up online, you talk a bunch of shit, and then like 3 weeks goes by, and then people are mad about the shit you talked 3 weeks ago, and you're like, wait, I don't feel fired up about it now.
Over delivers.
Yeah, I think that's what George Lucas was like, though, in a way. He was fired up about it, and then later on, he's like, "Fuck, people are still mad at me about this," you know. And
I married a redhead. Never left out. They never let me forget about it. Shoot me, Dad. Like, so great.
Yeah.
I sell Star Wars shoes.
I mean, but we kind of are in a way getting a lot of different flavors of Star Wars on the horizon. And I have to think that Rogue Squadron is going to also be, in a weird way, a genre that they've only dabbled in. You know what I mean? In a really superficial way. And
question.
Yeah.
Okay, Rogue Squadron. Off what you're saying. How much do you think they're spending right now on a series? About $100 million on a Star Wars series?
when it came to like Mando season 1, I know it was a lot. It was like close to 200 million, I believe. I could be completely wrong, but I think a lot of that was like research and development for the volume and getting those things built and things like that. So I'm not sure exactly where these come down, but they do seem to pretty much cost in the vicinity of a cheaper film, or maybe or a
But if it's
cheaper.
100 million, can they do take that budget and just do a 2 hour Rogue Squadron Disney Plus film? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
do
in
they have to
theory,
do 7 episodes, or do they feel like if they limit it, then it's competing with movies? Because I'm telling you right now, like if you release on Disney Plus, or I think the HBO thing inadvertently proved it's irrelevant. People will go to the theater for the fucking films regardless. You know, like
mhm.
there. I mean, like yeah, I mean, at the same time, no, obviously people will stay home. But if you release a 2 hour Star Wars film where your budget's, 100 million and you don't have to spend anything on marketing, really, you know what I mean? You just drop a trailer and it's on Disney Plus, they will go. Um, like, then you get the visual effects up. You know what I mean? Because it's not spread over several hours of content, you
Well,
know?
that's kind of where I was going to go with this. Is what if this Rogue Squadron movie, in a way, has some? What if there's some new spin to the tech? What if it does step up what you can do with cockpit realism? And we don't know what it is yet. You know what I mean? And so that might be like something that you wouldn't get on Disney Plus that we would get in this kind of theatrical film. Also, I just have to think that the visual effects might be better. Like if it was Rogue Squadron on
Because
Disney
they'll have a
Plus.
year. I mean, they'll have a year to work on visual. I mean, even
Mhm.
maybe even more depending on visual. Obviously, the quality of visual effects. I think what's cool about the Disney Plus TV format is that they can't rely on blah 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 just overwhelming you with dense amount of visual effects. I
Yeah.
feel the effects are too much in films half the time. I like when the Marvel show, these Disney Plus have one good, like in Hawkeye they had the bridge sequence, right? In Falcon and the Winter Soldier they had the Falcon flying sequence in the first episode. Loki had the whole city blowing up kind of thing, you know? I like one really good one and then give me the character stuff. Obviously with Rogue Squadron you need more space battles, but it's just guys, other than like prevising the battles, it's guys sitting in front of a blue screen in a cockpit. It's super cheap, you know, like it's just
Maybe. I mean, yeah, we don't. If it's how it's been done classically, then yeah, then you're pretty right. But is it? I think is the question. What
I just
is
would
the?
hate to see them spend $200 million, right?
Mhm.
On a spaceship flying movie that visually really it just looks like Top, you know what I mean? Like Top Gun is when you could get way more epicness than that. Like I
Mhm.
get why they're doing it. I don't know, man. Like I'm like that Rogue Squadron seems right for the TV format.
Well,
Like
but
more than
let's
anything else. Like
like I feel like I feel like though that this is this Rogue Squadron concept from what we've seen in the films is they don't get out of the spaceships. But realistically, this is probably going to be a movie where they're flying spaceships into star destroyers and getting out and using laser guns and stuff like that inside of them. And it will have more. It just these people happen to be in Rogue Squadron, and we're seeing more of what they do. And then there's also concepts in for the Rogue Squadron stuff that we've seen. Like we saw, and they're all really abstract and strange in the original movies. But you have them going down the trench run for the Death Star. Then in the next one, they're in air speeders and snow speeders, and they're tripping walkers with tow cables. Like so, I think that they may take Rogue Squadron. My guess is into a more special forces in spaceships kind of
again,
way.
Disney Plus series. You know,
Well,
I'm just
but I mean, like okay, so like Solo, I think has really cheap looking sets. they get to like Kessel, looks really cheap. But for the most part, the sets that they're filming down there at Manhattan Beach don't really compete with the sets from The Force Awakens. You know what I mean? Like there is actually a pretty big discrepancy there, and what they film at Pinewood and what they film at Manhattan Beach. So but at the end of the day, we'll have to see. Did it matter? I think it's not until we see what they're doing or what their plan is that we could really like necessarily judge
Oh,
it
absolutely.
because
Well, look, when someone said Top Gun 2 years ago,
yeah
I was like, fuck. And then I saw that trailer. I'm like, well, they got me. I don't even like that first movie. Like, I was an Iron Eagle guy, but
yeah
like, so it depends on the crew. It depends on how they shot Top Gun 2 so far from what I've seen is unlike anything I've seen.
mm-hmm.
And in Mando, the Mando flying the starfighter, like how Mark Hamilton mentioned, that scene where he's just like flying under the pod stuff and you're in the cockpit, like the BG Rocketeer shot, right? The low angle
mm-hmm.
up shot, right? Straight out of the Rocketeer, right? Or the World War II, whatever, with dam busters shots, like that's fucking brilliant. And I just think like if there's anything the volume's made for, it's fucking starship battles,
Mm-hmm.
And I get that they're doing a big movie, but it's just like, it seems to me like if they did $100 million small version of Rogue Squadron on Disney Plus that culminated in a movie, like the last one left for the fucking film. Like if there's any time to prove that can work, this would be the one. That would get everyone to the fucking theaters, man. And they would all be streaming the shit out of that stuff before it got up to get all fucking hyped up. You know what I mean? And then they go see the fucking the movie. Like,
this film could also potentially be the trunk of a tree that spawns its whole other side Star Wars franchise. And that if they happen to create an ensemble cast of fun, interesting characters, and you're like, whoa, I never knew this one character who they created. I want to see them have their own adventure, and then they have a Disney Plus show. Like it may, if it's done right, it could definitely, have a lot going for it. But
I'm interested.
We don't know. I don't know.
So HBO and them are doing a Gordon GCPD series that is Jeffrey Wright and this Gotham City from the new Batman film, right? So Matt Reeves is producing, JJ's co-executive producing or something like that. But it's the same actors, same universe. I gotta assume visually it's gonna look like Greg Fraser's cinematography. Like it's gonna have, I assume, right? But that'll be interesting to see if that works, as well.
Yeah.
Like, because I've always believed, like with the Spider-Man films when they relaunched it, I'm like, if they had like a Spider-Man series on Netflix, it was before Disney Plus, on Netflix, a 6-episode series that led into, that first Spider-Man film, The Homecoming, people would have seen the movie. Like I didn't see Homecoming in the movie theaters, not because I didn't like his performance in Civil War. It was just I was burnt out on Spider-Man fucking films. I mean, I worked on 3 t-shirt campaigns for 3 failed Spider-Man films. 3 Amazing and Amazing 2 were horrible times. I mean, I spent 3 years of my life working on Spider-Man shirts that go nowhere, earn you no fucking money, and you just get yelled at. You didn't make Spider-Man sell. I didn't ruin the fucking film.
Yeah.
I didn't put a man-looking lizard in that fucking movie or a blue, stupid fucking version of Electro that got nothing to do with that. I didn't waste Jamie Foxx's incredible talent. They did that.
Yeah.
But it was tough, man. So I just keep thinking Star Wars. I mean, Mando will make it to the big screen. I gotta assume. Iger talked about that, right? That these characters can go from here to there. I think Rogue Squadron is a testing bed for doing a series, then the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to get something really fresh, or are we going to get a Boba Fett? Is with the film, and I'm hoping for the best from Patty Jenkins, but I don't think I actually really connect with any of her movies in a very personal, I want to watch this again way. I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman I enjoyed. I had a fun time watching it in the movies, but that kind of stops there for me for the most part. And I
have a deep personal connection to World War One. So I don't want to get into it right now, but there's a strong connection for me in that era, and that's it. So Wonder Woman 2, I was super 84. I was excited, and then I saw it. I'm like, this is really fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst film I've seen in the theater since Spider-Man 2. Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. Like, it's really bad.
Junkbox says the movie failed because of you and your shirts. How do you sleep at night?
Bro, they did it. What was okay? The owners of these companies used to blame us for everything, right? And there was one time, and it used to be hysterical how they would blame us. Someone went to the, what was it? Someone had an experience with their shirt. Oh, they someone got a t-shirt and like fucking something happened with the technique burned them or something, right? Because they use these cheap inks or something. The kid got like fucked up from the chemicals in the shirt. And the owner came in and goes, "Who did the shirt?" I'm like, "We didn't fucking print it."
Yeah.
Like, you're in the wrong department, buddy. You gotta go to India. You know?
Listen, you can make symbols, and these symbols can burn people. And I think you guys made those symbols.
Yeah. And that's when Lego put down the whole, like, Lego came over, everything had to be water-based, and they were moving away from plastisols. But, like, this shit fucked the kid up, you know, and they were blaming the art, like us. Like, I was like, what is this? And I even said, you got to pick and choose your battles here. Like, my art director was one of the most loud-spoken dudes, but
yeah,
you get to a point financially where they can't argue so much, right? And I don't blame them. They got families. But I was at that level, like, I'd been there a long time, and I never get a raise. So I'm like, fuck this shit. You know, like, I'm at they can fire me, but the competition will pick me. Yeah, I can complain. Like, I'm at this right spot. So, like, when you come in there, you're like when someone, like, if someone, I used to say, someone gets shot by the police and they're wearing a Spider-Man shirt, they're going to be like, "Who made the shirt?" Yeah. I was waiting for that day.
Clearly the cop, cop
yeah.
thought it was a spider and shot this man.
My art director is African American, and he used to laugh at that because he knew it was true, you know? Like, some dude's going to get shot in a fucking Spider-Man shirt, and they're going to be like, "Rob fucking got the guy shot."
Yeah.
You know, because obviously he didn't fucking do a cool enough design. If the design was cool enough, the police would have let them alone. Like, it's fucking place, man.
Oh, hey, cool shirt, bro. Go ahead and go.
Yeah. You get a pass.
Yeah.
You with that bam, dude. Yeah. Oh, well. You know, my bad. Sorry, dog.
Yeah. Well, I think we did it. I think we talked about.
We did it.
I think we talked about our predictions. Did we even talk about?
We gained a new sub. We made some money for the show.
They'll
probably cancel tomorrow, but we
got
tried.
it. You said some bad stuff about the prequels. I didn't say enough good stuff, and now he's like, "Why I do that?" We got the show in 1080p. That's new. But but it was a good time. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with us today, and I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who's become a channel member, and everyone who is a Patreon supporter, and and all that jazz. It's been a good time, and we'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm gonna try to do a UFO show maybe this weekend. Not sure, but I really want to try to. If I don't have children with me this weekend,
if there is a time to do it and I can be on it, it would be this weekend.
Then we're doing
next week.
We're doing a UFO show on Saturday. Then Saturday it's UFO time. I've been saving links and stuff. I got a little show ready to go. So,
and I'm going to tell you, every time I see a Batman trailer, I just think of Bob Lazar now. He fires up that car. I'm like, a Bob Lazar. Yeah, Bob Lazar or Batman, that'd be the fucking car he'd make, you know? I wonder if Bob sees those trailers and goes, "Oh man, this is really I really love this show. You know, look at that car. You know?
I'm really like I really like the Batman of ufology. Probably.
Yeah. I can do his voice flawlessly. It's just Lucas comes out on the show. I'll go listen to his voice. I'll have the bobbles are down Saturday. You'll hear it.
I also I read a story about a man from I think 1957 who totally gets down with an alien. It's totally just gets down with that sexy ass alien, and that will be on the UFO
style
show. Oh yeah. it goes. Style. I mean, there's lust, there's intrigue, and there's heartbreak at the end. So you're gonna want to get that one. I don't know what happens when I hit
If they
end
stop
broadcast.
talking to you, do they call it getting space ghosted?
Yeah,
Like
that makes sense.
how to do
Space
it?
ghosted.
Pun.
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.